I ain't ever gonna stop watching Big Unc and the Nephew.
What's up? What's up?
What's going on?
What's happening, my brother? How did I know? How did I
Right? Come on now.
know?
Come on now.
Salute. Look at that beautiful background.
Right? I wanted to be around the other side, man, but it's freaking windy.
Did,
Hopefully, I'll be good right here where I'm at.
no, you
You
sound
know,
awesome. You sound real good right there. But welcome everybody to another Big Unc and the Nephew. Today we got a super special episode. We got my man Mike Starr, Blazing Star Barbecue, the man that doesn't need any introduction at all, the hardest working man in barbecue. Excited to have you on board today, brother.
thanks, man. Appreciate the opportunity, man.
Yeah,
We
just
had booked this out a couple of months in advance. And glad it was able to work out.
absolutely. So I think Mike may have something. Did you put something in that comment that I may have missed already, Mike?
Now, let
Yeah.
me do it.
Throw something in there. In the meantime, you guys, if you guys are looking for some questions, you want some insights, you want something, you got some questions for Mike, go ahead and drop them in the comments down below. This man is an open book. He's incredibly generous with his insight. So I'm sure he'll have some cool things to share with y'all.
For sure. For sure. Hold on one second.
Yeah, man, you go ahead and you go do your thing. In the meantime, man, how's everyone else doing? It's Friday. We had last weekend off. I had to do a little bit of traveling. Everyone gets a little busy, but here we are back in the saddle once again.
Heck yeah. That code's active now, so
Is it? Let me see if it's probably going to take a second. It'll pop in here. Get that thing going.
appreciate everybody jumping in, joining in.
Absolutely. Let's see. Nick, I don't see it in there. Do you see it in there? A comment from Mike?
Yeah, it's in there, but it won't let me post it.
Pin
Okay,
it.
all right. Let me scroll up. It might just be a second. All right, y'all. Hang tight. A little technical difficulties here as we get this going. What up, Benny?
Salute.
What up, Mossy? What's
Salute
going on,
20.
everybody? Ben, you see that thing, baby?
It's to Lisa.
Is it live on the website right now? Yeah, Mike, I don't see you in there. I see
There it
Lisa's
is.
comment right there
There we
about the
go.
superstar. That he
Yeah.
is.
See Grill Pros in the house.
Hell
See my
yeah.
family jumping in here.
Let me try to find that comment so I can pin it real quick and then we can just jump right into this thing. Nick, you see that comment in there?
I thought
Yeah,
he
it's in
pinned
there.
it. Nick pinned it, or right? What'd you do?
I can't,
Look like
it won't let me pin
oh,
it.
I saw it pop
Oh,
up
I
again, like
just
somebody. Oh, you
recommented
just
it. Yeah.
copied it. Okay, I got you.
Do you see mine that came in and make me pin mine?
Maybe you can pin
I
his.
see you saying happy Friday, everybody. That's about it.
You should be
What's
able to
going
scroll
on?
down.
When am I coming back to SoCal? I don't know. I mean, whatever it
Oh,
takes.
there we
Slow
go.
down.
There we go. I see yours, Nick. All right.
There
So
we go.
everybody, Blazing Star Barbecue.
There we
This
go.
man, he's an absolute powerhouse in the industry. He's got an incredible lineup of rubs, sauces. Some of my favorite rubs and sauces. I love that the Asian Bang. I can't keep enough of that on stock. But he's running a Memorial Day weekend sale. Use the coupon code Salute20, and he'll go ahead and take good care of you on that. So go ahead and stock up,
Sure.
load up, get some gifts for your friends and family as well.
Right.
But
Great
man,
time to stock up. Get those Father's Day gifts too coming. So that's around the
absolutely.
corner. So take advantage of it.
But let's just jump in, my brother. How's everything going with you, man? You've been doing a ton of traveling. You finally got to touch back down in Vegas. You're going to be home for a little bit, or?
Yeah, for a little bit. I got a catering event to do tomorrow for an old veteran, military retiree. He did like 20 years in the Air Force, and he also did 26 years as a government contractor too. So, real good friend of mine. I'm doing a catering for his retirement party tomorrow.
Oh,
Actually, I'll start the briskets tonight. After this, I got to start prepping the briskets and cook. And then Monday, I'm doing Bass Pro Las Vegas. I'm doing a sampling over at the Bass Pro in Las Vegas. So,
oh, nice.
pretty cool little opportunity. They kind of hit me up. The product's been selling good out of there, so they asked if I could come out and do something for Memorial Day. I was like, heck yeah, let's go. But
Absolutely.
yeah, I'm home till June 6th, 7th. I fly to New Jersey. I'm doing a big event in New Jersey, open fire. It's for veterans. It's called Embers of
Oh,
Valor.
oh
Doing
yeah.
that out there. Then I might be heading to Chicago the following weekend, and then Montana the weekend after that. So
You see, guys, so there's no sarcasm when I'm talking about the hardest working man in barbecue. This man, he sacrifices a lot, spends a lot of time away from his family so that he can provide like, top shelf products to put on your table. So go ahead and
At this
salute this
point,
man.
I appreciate it. At this point, man, it's like it's what I have to do. You get into these bigger retail. You know, social media isn't what it used to be. When I say that, there was a nice window there where social media was really gold for me. Uh, we're not in that gold zone anymore. It's there's a lot of paid. Uh, Bigger companies have figured out social media and they're coming in paying, and the social media companies are looking for that money. They like that paid money coming in, and I'm not paying.
Yeah,
I've never paid to get people to use my products. I don't pay to boost my account or anything like that. I've just kept it organic. And so now I find what moves the needle is being on the road, being in front of people, being able to showcase the products, show them how you intended to cook them, maybe show them ways to simplify what they're doing. And it kind of gives a good, I don't know, like a personal relationship between the customers too. And yeah, you got to do it all over. Like I can't just do it in Cali or Vegas. I got to get all over if we want to move the products.
that's right. You're hitting every market out there, man. Well, I know you've done a lot of these, man. You've been interviewed a lot, rightfully so. I want to try to stick away from maybe what you've been commonly asked.
For
Obviously
sure.
we've all heard about your inspiration. We've all heard about what got you into the business, but maybe let's share some of the stuff that some of these guys maybe don't know.
For
You
sure, man.
you're from North Carolina, right?
Yep, Hickory, North Carolina.
There you go. What were some of your earliest memories being out there in North Carolina?
So my mom and dad grew up. I mean, they're furniture. They worked in furniture. I lived like furniture area. You know, NASCAR was big. I used to play baseball early days. Little league. Pony league. You name it. Like I said, NASCAR was very big. But NASCAR, when I say it wasn't big back then. Uh, I used to live around the corner from Richard Petty, Dale Earnhardt
Oh wow.
Jr. I mean, Dale Earnhardt, a lot of the big dogs. I can remember driving by Richard Petty's house, and his one car was out in the front of his house on a trailer, right? Not in some fancy garage or whatever. As far as anything else, I moved to Mississippi, so this is a lot of stuff that people don't know. Since my mom and dad were in furniture, we moved to Mississippi, a little town called Pontotoc, Mississippi, which is outside of Tupelo, Mississippi. It's up north, not too far from Memphis. It's where Elvis was
Mm.
born. Uh, Lived there for 3 years. And then my mom didn't like being so far away from North Carolina. So my dad got a job right on the border of Virginia, North Carolina. So I actually went to high school in Virginia, right on the North Carolina border. Another race town, Martinsville,
Yeah.
Virginia, a big race town. That's where a lot of the old moonshine runners and stuff, actually, what's his name? The first ever black NASCAR driver.
Bubba
I
Wallace?
want
Is
to,
that it?
no, I want to say it's Willard Scott. We're talking way
Oh,
back.
way
I'm
back
talking,
when?
I'm
Okay.
talking moonshine running
Yeah.
days back in the day, right? Actually, his son was the coach of our basketball
Oh,
team.
oh
Uh,
wow.
just some different. What's up, John Waller? What's up, brother? Uh, but yeah, just totally different. I wrestled in high school. I was a big wrestler. Actually, I almost went to college to wrestle. I finished runner up in states 2 years in a row. I went to nationals my senior year. Like I said, I almost went to college in wrestling, but I was burnt out
Mhm.
and didn't know what I wanted to do. I know I didn't want to work in a factory. Back then, where I was at, it was all factory jobs, nothing big. So I joined the Air Force right out of high school.
There you go.
That's kind of
Immediately out of high school, huh?
yeah, probably about a month after
Oh,
high school I graduated. You know, I did a little bit of well, back in the, I'm not much of a baseball fan anymore, but I was a big Braves fan. Still am a Braves fan, but I just don't watch baseball anymore. Me and a couple buddies, we went down to Myrtle Beach, and then after Myrtle Beach, we went to Atlanta and watched a couple baseball games. Came back home, and then caught a flight to San Antonio, Texas for basic training.
No way. Did you leave a girl behind when you went? Did you have a steady girlfriend?
That was kind of a part of the reason. Like I was a girl I was serious with in high school. Probably dated for like a year and a half, and just shit went south. Broke up. You know, this little young guy was heartbroken. You know, and that was kind of I think one of those things. Another reason why I wanted to just get out. I wanted to go to the military and just go off, right? You know,
Time for a
so
refresh, huh?
yeah, something like that.
Did you have a history of military in your family, or
Yeah, all of
was it?
my family were Marines. Like every male
Oh wow.
in my family were all Marines. I thought about going to the Marines more to piss my dad off. I was a little cocky little shit, right? If you know wrestlers, any wrestlers, they're
Of
cocky, they're arrogant,
course.
right? You just have to be, right? And I was a cocky little shit, man. I was small. I was 115 pounds, but fucking, you know, I talk like I was 315 pounds. You know what I mean? And anyways, my dad, you know, he was like, man, you don't need to go in the Marines. You're gonna go in there and get your tail whooped, you know, this, that, and other. My mom, she was like, no, don't go in the Marines, you know, blah, blah, blah. You're smarter than that. And bottom line, I was smarter than that. Nothing against my Marine friends out there, buddies, but I had good scores for my ASVAB. So I went to the Air Force and said, hey, I want one of these 5 jobs. If you can give me one of these 5 jobs, I'll sign up today. They gave me my third choice, and
There
boom,
you
I
go.
signed it, and you know, never looked back. Planned on doing 4 to 6 years. End up doing 21.
Well, you can't beat that, man. Well, thank you and salute to your service, brother.
My
Seriously.
pleasure, man.
Do you
My
remember
pleasure.
what were one of those jobs that you wanted to get that you didn't land?
So my first job was biomedical maintenance.
Oh wow.
Second job was PMEL, which is precision maintenance. More or less like doing all the calibration on test equipment and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then my third job was satellite and wideband communications. So I got it. I was fortunate. A lot of things in the military, it comes down to your assignments, right?
Yeah.
You can get a crappy assignment right out the gates, and it just be miserable, right? My first assignment, even though a lot of people thought it was a terrible assignment, it was in southern New Mexico.
What part, like Alamogordo?
Alamogordo, that's correct. Yeah, I was in Alamogordo, the land of entrapment. It's called the land of enchantment, right? But we called it the land of entrapment, right? And everybody was miserable there. When I got there, everybody was miserable, and I was like, you know, this is a cool job because it was a cool ass job, right?
Yeah.
But it wasn't the greatest place to live. But for me, it was something new, right? It was something different, and the job, it was going away. They were moving it to the Guard, so I got orders to Germany right away. So I was only there for like a little over a year. Got orders to Germany. Great assignment. Got to travel all over Europe. Spent a lot of time in Italy, southern Italy, and then I saw a job pop up. It was a fly-in job, and it had the requirements had a piece of equipment that I worked on at my first assignment.
Oh wow.
Right? It was a super rare piece of equipment. I had a lot of experience on it, and it's one of those pieces of equipment that a lot of people didn't have. So I applied for it. They saw that I had experience. They did a phone interview, and then boom, I had orders to Nebraska, where I was in a position where, bottom line, it's like an airborne Pentagon, uh, the National Airborne Operations Center. It's more like a kind of emergency situation in case of a nuclear attack on a country, but it's a 747. Looks like a lot like Air Force One, but it's like a command and control center, right? So we would follow the president around, take the SecDef, SecState, Joint Chiefs of Staff all over the world. I was gone 275 days out of the year.
No way.
You know, traveling from country to country. I was in there during 9/11, which is a whole nother realm of stuff. You know, but yeah, and then I almost stayed there my whole career. But then me and a captain didn't see eye to eye, and he decided he wanted to use his power, and I said okay. An opportunity came to me in Vegas, and I dipped on them real quick and came to Vegas. Then went to Korea for a year, and then came back to Vegas. So that's pretty much my career in a nutshell. That's about all I can talk about. Let's put it that way.
Exactly. That's how that goes. You shared a lot. Appreciate that, man. So you were pretty young back then, right? When you were flying around behind the president and stuff, you were still in your maybe
Oh
early
yeah,
20s.
I was like 23, 24.
Oh man.
Yeah, I got there in '99, right? So I was 23 years old, right,
Yeah.
when I got there, and it was cool. I mean, we went everywhere. You name it, we went there. It's easier for me to tell you what country I didn't go to. You know, some were shitholes and we couldn't wait to get out of, right? We were like, hurry up, let's get out of here. And then others were like, yo, let me stay here. This is fucking Fantasy Island,
Oh man.
you know?
So did you get when you're out there and you're stationed in all these foreign lands, like how much real downtime do you get where you get
Really,
to just like kind of go around
it
as
all
a
depends on the
tourist?
trip and how long you were there.
Yeah.
Some spots, none, right? Some spots it would be like I might land and be on shift, right? Because we had a job, right, that we had to do, and I might be on shift, and then uh, and we might take off like 12 hours later, right? You know, or others we might be there 7 days, and I might have like 2, 3 days of downtime where I get to spend and enjoy it, you know. So it was just mixed, you know.
Yeah.
Just really all depend on what they were doing and how long they were going to be. Some trips we could go there and shut down, and we were off until the presidential trips were the best because we could when he got there to wherever country he was at, we were always like 2 hours away, right? So he would land and he had his comm crew on the ground, right? So we didn't need to do anything, right? So we dipped. We could hang out for 3, 4 days, you know, and then come back and be like, all right, cool. Just you got to be back in the plane by 7:30 on Wednesday. All right, cool, bet. Let's
That's
go.
not too bad, huh?
Yeah, no, it was a good deal, man.
Did you have what were some of those places out there that probably surprised you the most, right? For example, maybe something that you landed there and you're like, oh man, it's gonna suck here. Prague's gonna suck, and maybe you were like really blown away. What were the biggest surprises for you in places that you visited?
I'm trying to think. I don't think there was. I think most of the places I knew, we had information ahead of time, so we kind of knew what they were going to be
Okay.
beforehand. Usually because of somebody else that went there or whatever, so we had information. We did go to a spot we didn't know we were going. We just knew the president was going to Africa, and we landed in the middle of the night. We didn't know where we were going. We just knew it was somewhere like, you know, we thought we were going to still be in Africa. Ended up landing like in the Indian Ocean out in the middle on this island called Mauritius.
Oh wow.
It was a hard landing too because like the runway was very small for a 747. We hit hard. Matter of fact, we had one of our antennas that we had broke on the landing. Right. That's how hard we had hit. Anyways, we get there we get off the plane. It's still dark. You can't really see what's going on, right? And we get loaded in this bus, and they took us through the sugarcane field, right? We're just driving in the middle of a sugarcane field, right? That's the only way I can describe it, right? And then all of a sudden we show up and we stop and we get out, and it's like Fantasy Island.
Oh wow!
Like we're talking like a fancy ass resort, right? We're big ass infinity pool that rolls right into the ocean, right? Freaking wild, like tropical birds, like just chilling. I was waiting for the little guy. He playing, boss. He playing. It was straight Fantasy Island, bro. It was actually one of the coolest places I've ever been to. I found out later during that trip, it's where John Travolta, like it's his getaway.
Oh,
That's
no
where
way.
he goes, playing there all the time. That's like he lives there probably more than he lives, his own home. And and I saw why afterwards. I mean, it was freaking unbelievable.
Just beautiful out there, huh?
Mm-hmm.
What were some of the things you guys did in your downtime? I mean, obviously you're still young. You guys just going and bar hopping and
Yeah, we
meeting
did
women
bar
and stuff?
hopping. Probably the craziest thing, we were in Azores. I don't know if you know the Azores. It's a Portuguese island. It's
Okay.
actually out in the Atlantic. But I actually ran with the bulls
Oh.
there. Pretty crazy. Matter of fact, I got a scar. Uh, I was a stupid guy. I've got a couple cool memorabilia from that time frame. Found out later that we weren't supposed to do that. Like I could have got kicked out of the military for if I got caught doing it. But it was different. It's not like the normal running of the bulls where they just let them go, right? Like a herd of them. They let out like 2 or 3 bulls, and they do it like every weekend. It's during a stretch of the year. Every weekend, it's in a different town. And when I say a different town, it's like a small town.
Mm-hmm.
And in that small town, everything gets kind of boarded up, right? And they let out like 2 or 3 bulls, and they have them on ropes, like long ass ropes, right? And they kind of hurt them, so they'll let them go so far, and then they pull on them, and then they'll take off running back another way. People jump in the streets and try to mess with them and what have you. So, of course, me being the young dumb kid I was, I was like, hell yeah, let's do this. And let's say I got hooked up on one, but it was cool. It was a cool experience. But yeah, we'd always bar hop, you name it, we did it. We go to places. We might go cliff diving in the ocean somewhere. Whatever. Whatever we could get into. Because that's in the military, man. It's a wild. You know what I mean? It's wild. Like especially back then. Nowadays, it's tame, right? Kind of the woke world has gotten out there, and whatever. But it's a different world now. But yeah,
It was a lot rougher back then.
yeah, for sure, man.
You still stay in touch with any of your buddies from way back when?
So I'll tell you this: like military, I'm closer to people that I spent time in the military with than people I went to school with.
Yeah.
Right? It's just you develop a bond, to people in the military. It's just different, right? I guess we all kind of deal with a lot of the same things, right? Being away from home, family, being deployed, uh, divorce rate, all kinds of stuff like that is like just higher in the military just because of the lifestyle and what you do. So you find yourself, you relate to them a lot better, and that's kind of actually to kind of transition here to barbecue. When I got out after 21 years, I moved to this town. You see, I'm out in the middle of nowhere, right? So I went from a guy that was surrounded by people and had camaraderie. I moved to this town. I didn't have anything, right? I didn't have friends, nothing, you know. And so I kind of like shut down a little bit, right?
Yeah.
And it really wasn't until barbecue found me, because that's what I say. Barbecue kind of found me. It's not that I've been barbecuing and grilling my whole life, right? But barbecue this business found me. Like it wasn't something I planned. It fell in my lap, and then once I immersed myself into the barbecue community, like boom, all of a sudden I had that camaraderie, that brotherhood I just saw in the comments by Copy Song. That brotherhood, sisterhood, because I got a lot of sisters in the barbecue world that have been great to me too. But I got that back, right? It's something I was missing, and it really kind of rejuvenated me as a whole, and just sparked me to want to just do this the rest of my life, right?
That's awesome, man. Well, you're doing an amazing job of it. There's no doubt about that. And I'm really glad you made it back. Glad you get to stay in touch with some of your boys from out there too. Those are there's no doubt why you can have some lifelong friendships. You guys, it's hard for you guys to find people that have sacrificed the same way that you have, right? So, like you mentioned, it's your time away from your family. The divorce rate's incredible. Obviously the loss of your brothers out there in the field. It's not something that's very relatable to anyone else. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
for sure.
cool to see
I'm
that you're able to still keep some of those on.
sipping on some Rock Hill Farms. It's one of my all-time favorites.
Oh yeah, Rock Hill Farms.
Yeah, man.
All right, I got a screenshot. I got to get a screenshot of that when we
It's
get it
it's
next
a
time. I'll
it's
order
a
some of that.
Buffalo Trace
Oh,
product,
is
so
it?
it's one you don't hear about, but if you can find it, I highly recommend buying it. It's one of my favorites,
I,
all-time
I
favorites.
will, based on that recommendation alone. Absolutely. Send him his check, Rock Hill.
Right? Buffalo Trace. I need a tour.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Well, that's
So we got a
awesome,
couple
dude.
questions in the chat.
Yeah,
Let's get
let's
to
hit
those real
those,
Yeah.
Nick.
quick. So we got Mike Mendoza's asking question. With you being so busy, do you have any new products on the horizon that you feel comfortable talking about?
Talking about maybe not. I have stuff on the horizon. Really, a lot of it, like I was probably ready to release something uh end of last year, earlier this year, like plans. But with the new retail, like I really wanted to focus on the products that I have now and in those retails, right? Because uh bottom line, if I was to come out with a new product, of course I would want to push it, right? Well, in the larger retail world, uh, to get a new product in, once you get products in, it could take a year for that to happen, right? So, and a lot of these larger retails, they take a year to happen. So it's kind of one of those things. I'm focused on establishing what I have now, and maybe hopefully get some traction on some of the products that don't sell as well that I have, like in my lineup, right? I think the biggest problem what I have with my brand is I'm known more for the spicy stuff, right? That's my niche, right? Uh, it's getting people to understand that the other products are good too,
Yeah.
right? Uh, because it's like, if not, then I have to make a decision, right? Like what do I do? Do I abandon a product, right? Especially if I want to bring something else in or whatever. But I've got 3 or 4 products that are on the shelf that I feel confident about bringing out. I almost brought one of them out at Memphis in May. I was going to actually, it was a sauce. I was going to enter it with a shed in it, but I got caught up with a bunch of stuff, and bottom line, I just didn't end up making some of it to put it out there. But yeah, I'm hoping that maybe by fall we could release a new product potentially. If not by the spring, that's the goal, and then we'll see. A lot will depend, if retail comes and says, "Hey, man, this stuff's rolling. You got anything new?" Boom, that's where you got one in the pocket, ready to go, right? And that's kind of when with with the retail and stuff like that, especially the bigger retail, that's what they're looking for, right? if stuff really hits with you and it's selling, they're like, hey, what do you got next? What do you got coming next? So I'm kind of am holding some couple things in the holster.
Hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Drumming up that interest, baby. Drumming up that interest.
I know I'm intrigued. I know we're all looking forward to it, and I'm sure I'm speaking to most of the people in the chat.
I appreciate it. Great question, Mike.
So, Captain Zone had a two-parter here. What was your favorite assignment in the Air Force, and what was your favorite country to visit?
Favorite assignment was Korea, and I say that I had some really great assignments, right? But I learned more about myself in Korea than anywhere else. Uh, so the jobs that I had in the military, I was more of a doing our dance right now about new products. Uh, I was more of a kind of a go-to guy. So I was in jobs where I was like, you focus on getting the job done. We need you to get the job done. We don't need you to like babysit uh, young troops or nothing like this. Like I was more of a specialty guy. If the Air Force had warrant officers, which they used to long time ago, I would have been more like a warrant officer. I would have been somebody that was a specialist. I was really good at what I did, and the assignments I was asked to do, I was asked to focus on that and nothing else, right? Uh, so with that said, I actually avoided Korea like the plague.
Oh,
It was an assignment that I didn't want to take because I knew I would have to babysit, as I would call them, kids, right? Well, sure enough, at 34 years old, I got an assignment to Korea, and it was a 30-man shop. Master Sergeant E7 was the normal person to be in charge. They got rid of the E7 slot. I was the E6. I show up there. There was 5 other E6s there, and we go downtown for lunch. And they were all like, "Hey, what's your data rank?" I gave them my data rank. They're like, "You're it.
yeah.
You're the boss." I'm like, right? So now I was in charge of 30 people, right? I was in charge of uh, 6 comm sites all over Korea, right? It was a lot of responsibilities, right? And it wasn't something I was intimidated about because I felt it was something I could do, but I never wanted to be in that position. Most of the gals were like in their young 20s, right? Korea, if you knew Korea back then, it was nothing but wildness, right? Uh, it was a lot of drunkery, right? A lot of all kinds of stuff, right? Stuff I could write a book about, and I would blow people's minds about, right? So with that said, cheers, everybody on the live too. I came in, I had a speech to the troops, and I said, look, I gave them a little background about me, and I said, look, this is what I want you to know about me. I kind of gave them my background. I said, look, you're not going to outwork me or outplay me, right? Meaning, I said, I'm a work hard, play hard guy, and you're not going to outwork me or outplay me, right? And I lived up to that in this whole assignment. I think I outworked and I outplayed everybody there. I had some of the young guys that were really sharp troops come up to me and said, "Hey, man, like you weren't kidding, bro. Like you know your shit and you work your ass off and you party your ass off, right?" And it was a really rewarding assignment. I met my wife there too. Uh, there's a lot of stuff, about it, but it was just a great assignment. I learned a lot about myself. Like, I learned that I was a leader, right? It wasn't like I was never focused on like follower leader type stuff. It was just I was always tasked to do a job, and I would do that job to the best of my ability, right? This was the first time that I was tasked to lead 30 people and show them the way, uh, help them be a better person, a worker, advance in the military, but also at the same time frame show that, hey, I'm a pretty chill dude too at the same time frame. So that's what I would say. I learned a lot about myself, and then best. I forgot the other question. It was something about
Favorite place you had been?
Yep.
favorite place. Uh, it probably would have been Mauritius. That spot I went to just because I got to spend a lot of time there. It was cool. I loved it there. Second place would probably be the Philippines, but that was more vacation. That wasn't an assignment.
Mhm.
I was never assigned a TDY to the Philippines, but I did visit the Philippines multiple times while I was in the military.
There you go.
Another question we have is from Maison. What's your favorite thing to cook?
You know, it'd probably be a toss up between, I'm going to say ribs. I'm a ribs guy. I love ribs. Like when I cook, ribs is one of those things I do for a lot of parties. Like tomorrow, I'll be doing, 20 racks of ribs tomorrow for a catering. I love ribs. Ribs are one of those things that I feel like I can always put a smile on people's faces. The pork and rub and the original barbecue sauce, those were developed for me for ribs. So back in the day when I was developing those two products, and those truly were my first two products ever developed, right? I developed those products more geared towards ribs than anything,
Oh wow.
right? And more because of what I liked, like the flavors that I liked and what I enjoyed. So that's what I created them for. And it wasn't until later on that I realized how versatile the pork and rub was, right? Like, because I cooked a lot of ribs. Bottom line, anytime people come on, and people would ask me all the time. People would bring me ribs. Hey, can you cook ribs? So I cooked ribs until I was like blue in the face. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I still love doing ribs. I love doing steaks and tri-tips too, chicken wings, of course, but ribs are probably my all-time favorite.
You still carry any of that Carolina barbecue with you?
Mm,
Not so much,
I'm
yeah.
not, so, what's funny is I'm not a vinegar guy,
Yeah.
right? And Carolina is vinegar based,
Mhm.
right? So I'm not a huge North Carolina barbecue. Don't get me wrong, like it's meant vinegar based sauce works great to me on pulled
Yeah.
pork. It soaks into the pulled pork really well. Like if you have a good seasoning with a vinegar barbecue sauce in the pulled pork, I think it's great on it. But on anything else, I'm not a fan of it. Never have been. Even growing up, I just never was a huge fan of it. I'll probably get some blasphemy from my Carolina peeps, but it is what it is. I mean, it's kind of why I tell people all the time, none of my stuff is North Carolina. It's not Memphis. It's not, Kansas City. It's not Texas. It's its own style, right?
World gourmet, right? I mean, I think I've heard you talk about that before on previous shows and interviews and things, right? All your travels have helped you kind of hone in your style, right?
Well, I learned about a lot of. So it's what's funny is I use a lot of spices that people are familiar with. I
Hmm.
just get them for different regions of the world,
Yeah.
right? Is what I do, right? So some of the stuff that I use, and it makes a difference. Like you smell it. So I will say this: I do have a mustard sauce that I will bring out one day. That'll be one hint that I will tell you. I think I have a mustard sauce that it fits my brand really well. I'll even give you uh, I'll even give you a name potentially of what it'll be.
Wow.
It'll be Death Valley hot mustard sauce.
You hear that, folks? There's an exclusive for you.
Death
If you
Valley.
guys were tuning in and heard that one, I'm not going to repeat it.
So
Booyah's dancing some more over there.
And it's one of those like. So I am a mustard guy.
Yeah.
I truly am a mustard guy. That's one thing I probably, puts me more roots in the Carolinas than anything is mustard. And I have a mustard sauce that I love. I have it in my fridge. I make it on a regular, and I use it on the regular. I've just never posted about it. I've never posted it anywhere. But it's definitely one that I won't. Sauces are hard, though. I will say this: seasonings are easier to make money with.
Yeah.
Sauces are hard. It's a hard game, and that's another reason why I haven't come out with that sauce per se. I think it will be my next sauce that I come out with. When will it be? I don't know. We'll just there's a lot of factors that come in there.
It'll come when the time is right.
Right.
That's exactly when it'll launch. And I don't want to pigeonhole you, man.
Mm.
I don't want to pigeonhole you, but I gotta ask: is it gonna be spicy?
Oh yeah, it'll be spicy. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah,
Good.
that's why I'm calling it Death Valley Hot Mustard.
Yeah.
Yeah, Death Valley hot mustard. I mean, I live next to Death Valley, right? Death Valley's known for heat, like temperature hot, right? So it's going to be a spicy mustard sauce.
Oh, yes.
I think it'll be like anything I try to come out with. There'll be nothing like it.
Awesome, man. I'm looking forward to that one. That's for sure. Can you
Yeah,
guys
you
hear
got
that? Is the
one out.
audio okay?
Yeah, it's good.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
And
My
the
AC
wind
unit
died
just
down
kicked on.
today, too. Thank goodness the wind. We get a little breeze every once in a while, but
Oh, man, that's absolutely beautiful out there, Mike. I can't wait to make it out there.
what up, Marco in the house? What up, brother?
Yeah, Marco's in here. I'm still coming down off of Marco's episode.
Bro, I get high just watching his shit.
Dude, I'm telling you.
I can't even. I'm like, yo, man, you're gonna get me all jacked up here. I take one gummy, dude, and I'm done, man. I'm done.
Dude, I cold turkey that thing. I'm done. That's all out of my life now, man. It's been out for almost 3 months now, ever since that damn episode.
That episode ruined him.
Yeah, Marco, he took my dick and put it right in the dirt.
That's funny.
Oh, look, we got another exclusive from Marco.
Oh shit! My line of edibles are weeks away.
Oh,
what?
shit.
Let's go.
There we go.
Yep.
A lot of new shit dropping here today, boys.
I can't do that unless I'm at home by myself.
Oh. How's the family? Is the family home with you right now?
Oh yeah, they're inside. They're hanging out, chilling.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So let me ask you. I got some questions for you.
Hit me up.
Let's say so you're in Vegas, right? Let's say Tone's having a party. You're gonna drive out to Tone's house. You got to stop at that gas station and pick up some snacks for that road trip out there. What are you picking up at the gas station before you go out on a road trip?
Bro, I'm a sour cream and cheddar Ruffles guy, bro.
No way. Okay.
Yeah, I mean that's just like I don't know. That's my jam.
Yeah.
Back in the day, I used to be. I get me one of the Monster Mean Beans with some chocolate zingers.
Yeah. There you go.
Something zingers were like as a child. That was something I loved. So I'll get those on road trips. Like usually, what I'll do is I'll get one of the Monster Mean Beans with some zingers, right? And then I'll get a bag of sour cream cheddar chips for later. Like, you know what I mean? Like after I get a couple hours into the ride, the coffee and the chocolate's gone away. I need something a little salty. I go with the sour cream and cheddar chips, man.
There you go. That's funny you mentioned that. Those are hands down my wife's favorite chips. The sour cream and cheddar.
They're mine, bro. I mean, I like a lot of chips.
Yeah.
But sour cream and cheddar, I fuck that up, bro. Like that's like my jam.
Sure.
Straight up.
And then let me ask you, I'm curious, what if there's anyone out there that you could cook for? It could be fact or fiction. Someone that's still with us or someone that's no longer here.
Wow,
Who would you really love to cook for?
I've never really thought about Someone I could cook for.
Yeah.
Hmm. I'm gonna marinate on that for a minute.
Yeah, no worries. We'll
Yeah,
circle back.
for
We'll
a minute.
circle back.
Yeah, circle back to that one.
So obviously you like your bourbon and stuff too, right? Is that
I'm a,
your is that your beverage of choice?
it is. So funny thing is, growing up in the military, I was a Crown guy,
Yeah.
like a huge Crown guy, and then Crown is like, it's kind of like, I don't know, like, you drink Jack, Jim, and Irv, right? But then when you like a special occasion, it was like Crown. You know what I mean? It's just kind of funny that way in the military. And I've always been a Crown fan. I have a huge Crown collection.
Oh
I have
no.
like all of their stuff, right? I mean, 29 years, 30 years. I have it all. I have the rares. Uh, huge Crown collection. Actually, one of my good buddies got me into bourbon about 4 years ago.
Yes. Yes.
Uh, my palate has been refined, over the years to it, and now I am a huge bourbon guy. I probably I don't consider myself like somebody like my buddy Jason. He drinks bourbon like it every night, you know, whatever. Once or twice a week, I'll crack a bottle. Usually I'll try to go live or something like that and just have a couple sips, BS, and just time to relax. That's the way I look at it. It's just like it's something I chill on, something I marinate on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What do you think about that blackberry? You tried that one
it's
yet? You don't
terrible. Uh,
like it, huh? People either love it or hate it.
no, so I mean, they hit it on point when they put on the back of the box lemonade, right? It goes fine with lemonade. It goes great with Sprite, right? Uh, no, it's a whiskey, but uh, uh, but by itself, it's like cough syrup, man.
It does taste like that for you, huh?
It's terrible. It's not the worst thing they came out with. The worst thing they ever came out was the Texas Mesquite.
Oh,
Uh,
I never had that.
dude, don't even try it. Come to my house, I'll make you try it, right? Because I have it in there and it hasn't been opened probably since I opened it. Like fucking, I don't know how many years ago. Uh, it tastes like somebody dumped an ashtray in
Oh
a bottle of Crown.
God, no.
It was terrible. I mean, it's one of those where they, like, they were trying to put a couple drops of liquid smoke in there and they ended up pouring the whole bottle of liquid smoke in there. It's just terrible.
Oh, that's not good. Not good at all. Believe it or not, actually, I don't mind that blackberry one. I first time I tried it, right, I found the bottle, picked it up. My
Yeah.
first sip off of it, I was like, "Oh no, this is trash." So I didn't like it. My first go around, I definitely didn't like it. But my second one, I went back to it and gave it another shot, and I liked it a lot more on that second and third
I
pour.
just can't drink it by itself, right? And to
Yeah.
me, like, throw some lemonade in there and it's solid with lemonade.
Hmm.
Throw a Sprite, maybe even a ginger ale or something like that. It needs something to cut it, the sweetness
Yeah.
to it. You know what I mean? It needs, because it's just, I don't know. Like I said, it's a little too cough syrupy to me.
For sure.
I love the bag. I'm a Crown bag.
Yeah.
So I love the bag, you know?
Yeah. I thought it was. I understand what you're saying. You kind of got to chew through that thing, man. But neat's the only way I drink my bourbon. I can't really mix it with much.
Right?
Yes,
And I
sir.
tell you, it makes a big difference in a Glencairn, right? I know it sounds crazy until you do it, but you drink in a Glencairn type glass, right? I mean, there's other companies out there that make them, but you drink in it really opens up the bourbon more.
100%.
But I used to be a guy that would drink it on the rocks, but now the only way I drink is neat.
Same. I think it's an acquired taste, man. As you get a little bit older, your taste change a little bit. I was the exact same way. I used to drink it with a splash of Coke. Used to drink it on the rocks. Now the only way I do it, I like to sip it neat for sure. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
What's up,
Hell yeah.
Ricky? But yeah, man. So we got some good answers to those questions. You have anything for us to circle back on?
You know what? You're talking about who I would
Yeah,
love
who
to.
you would cook for?
I think
It's not that serious. You might not get to cook for
Well, right. Well,
them.
I don't know if it's about like cooking for or cooking with,
Okay,
right?
one and
Uh,
the same in this case.
uh, I would actually probably have to say Malcolm
Oh
Reed.
wow, really? You
Yeah,
haven't
I'll
got
say
to do that yet.
no, I haven't.
Wow.
Me and him have interacted. We've been around the same spot and chatted up. Actually, pretty cool story. I never forget when I jumped on TikTok and he jumped on TikTok. He followed me like when I was like in the ninth person he followed on TikTok, right? And I was just like, what? And
Me?
this was like in, bro, this was like late 2020, early 2021, right? And I was just like, kind of like fanboy, you know, big time. Because I'll say this, and I say this to a lot of people. First of all, Malcolm Reed, for what we're doing, especially on the internet, Malcolm Reed is the pioneer to that.
Yeah.
And back in the day, man, if there was something I never cooked before, I would search the fucking internet, right? And Malcolm Reed had a video on it, right? And so I believe he started a lot of stuff that allowed us where we are today to be able to do what we're doing today. Uh, every interaction I've had with him, he's a very humble man. And nothing. This is nothing against anybody else in the industry because there's a lot of greats that I've had an opportunity to be with and hang around and cook with. But I would say Malcolm Reed would be that guy. I would love to just hang out with him for a day,
Yeah.
cook with him, chop it up with him. He's got an amazing story. His wife did a lot to like help him be where he is today too. There's just so much about him that he's such a genuine person, and I would love to like hang out and cook with him one day.
Oh man, that's a solid answer, man.
Mm.
And you're exactly right. I think hands down, he's one of the very first people I ever came across when it comes down to like filming content on social media. Obviously, way back before that was like Bobby Flay and stuff like
Oh
that
yeah.
on
Well,
on
I'm a huge
TV.
Bobby Flay, a Food Network guy.
Yeah,
Like I'm a foodie, like straight up foodie guy. Like all I ever did, like watch food and sports. That's it. That's all I watched on TV. And I mean,
yeah,
I would flip back from Food Network to sports. So I'm a huge Emerald Lagasse fan. I'm a
yes.
Bobby Flay fan. I'm a you name it. Anybody on Food Network. Paula
I was even
Deen,
into Martin
you know.
Yan a lot. Yan Can Cook, you remember
Oh
him?
yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Uh,
man.
That's who got
you
me
know,
started.
Yeah,
I, I remember Guy Fieri winning his show, the show that he did with the next Food Network star,
yeah.
right? That he was on that first episode. I remember that, and look what he's done. You know what I mean?
No
And he
way.
was right down the road here, and he went to UNLV. You know what I mean?
You ever get a
Uh,
chance to meet him yet?
I haven't met him. We almost crossed paths over the Super Bowl weekend. Uh, he was supposed to be at this one event that I was, but he had something come up. So I was kind of bummed about that because I was hoping to meet him there. Uh,
You'll catch him
but
at the Raider games out there. Yeah.
right, for sure.
I think he lives out here in Santa Rosa, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. He
Yeah,
does.
that's what's up,
But yeah,
man.
I'm a huge Food Network. Like, I love Food Network. I mean, I lived off of Food Network. I would get a lot of my ideas, right? Like, when I was playing around with shit at the house, that's what I would get my ideas off of, right? Was all the time, right? Because that was Food Network was our social media,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, Michael Simon, of course, and I've been fortunate enough to hang out with Michael Simon a couple times. I've actually been with him at his restaurant here in Vegas and hung out and bullshitted with him there too. So Michael Simon, definitely another great one. We cooked right beside him in Memphis in May 2 years ago, right beside him. Actually, me and Todd was talking about it. Susie's Hago Hay,
Yeah.
Susie's husband. We were talking about that because we were next door. They cooked with Michael Simon on his team 2 years ago at Memphis in May, and we were right beside him.
That's fucking cool. So did you have a good time out at this last one?
Yeah, I'd have to say I would probably consider it my best weekend barbecue
No way.
today.
You're talking about this past week specifically?
Yeah, yeah. And I say that there's a lot of controversy with the two events going on. And I'm not here to get into that. If there's anybody out here that is a big competition cook, I'm not a competition cook. Bottom line, I'm about opportunities, right? And I was afforded a lot of opportunities this past week at Memphis in May. I didn't get to cook with my team, the Shed Barbecue, that I've cooked with for the last 3 years. I would go down and check on them and, kind of bullshit with them and hang out with them when I had an opportunity. But I was so busy doing demos, doing stuff with the Boys and Girls Club in Memphis, and bouncing back and forth between events. I mean, the joke was they were calling me the Clark Kent of barbecue because I was changing shirts left and right. Want to go work for this company, go work for this company, and then go to this event, come back to this event. I was all over the place, but it was a lot of exposure, huge exposure. And then I got the phone call. I was finishing up my last demo, and my boy Nick, Biscuits and Briskets, messaged me. He's like, "Bro, get your ass down here. The Shed just made finals. We got your shirt. Come down here and help us win this motherfucker." And so I rolled down. I told Scott at Jealous Devil, I'm like, "Yo, I'm out. We gotta go down there." Went down there, got my shirt. Congratulated them for the finals. Got them helped set up for the finals, and then boom, they ended up winning the whole damn thing. They win whole hog and then grand champion, the Memphis in May. Go on the stage with them and celebrate with them to win their third grand world championship. Only 4 teams have ever done that in 47 years.
Damn.
And those 4 teams, I don't know if you know Mike Mills, the barbecue. He's a legend. Big Bob Gibson,
Okay.
Chris Lilly, right? And then Myron Mixon, right?
Yeah.
Those in the Shed, they're the only 4 teams to ever do it. Then the finals, and to be in the finals, and it's Heath Riles and Ribs. It's Big Bob Gibson, Chris Lilly, and Pork Shoulder, and then the Shed and Whole Hog. Phenomenal being on the stage with those legends, and then boom, to hear them say, Shed. It was crazy. So it was kind of like an icing on the cake, and then it was a lot of you. This is what people don't realize too. Like I give you an example. That party afterwards, the people that come there and hang out at that party afterwards, and the conversations that we have that go on there, the talks that I have with people that are legends in the industry, conversations I have, and then to get the respect from those people, like when they come and talk to me and tell me, like it's one thing. I hear people tell me like, "Yeah, man, you're busting your ass. You're the hardest working guy in barbecue and stuff like that." But when you get it from guys that are like legends in the industry, you don't see them. They don't interact with you on a daily basis.
Yeah.
But when they pull you aside and have conversations with you and talk to you and say stuff, it's like it hits. It hits.
For sure. That carries a lot of weight, man. And it's well deserved. Well deserved, man. You've been busting hump, and it shows, man. And a lot of people love you, brother, for real.
I
So
appreciate it, man. I mean, I'm blessed for every one of these opportunities. Uh, I've got some great people in my corner, people that I surround myself with, because I couldn't get here by myself. You know what I mean?
yeah, I know
But
what you mean.
I pride myself on supporting everybody that supports me. I get the small accounts that reach out to me with the 200 followers and post something, you know, and then I share their stuff out, and they reach out to me and they're like, "Man, I appreciate you giving us small guys attention." I'm like, "Bro, I'm not here without you,
Yeah,
right? I mean, support is a two-way street, right? Period, right?
100%.
And I'm not here without each and everybody that here is supporting me, the people that are here in the live, all 17 of you. I appreciate you. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter if you got 58 followers or 5.8 million followers, right? I mean, if you're supporting me, I need to be supporting you. You know, that's the way I feel. And I don't, you know, I know, you'll get that people will say, well, we'll see what you do as you get going and things get bigger and whatever. I'm like, look, I'm going to support what I can do. I'm going to do whatever I can. You know, I'm just blessed with an opportunity that I get to do this for my living. I don't make as much money as I did when I was working and I had a real job. You know,
Yeah.
you know, I'm happier in what I'm doing. Believe it or not, even though you see me traveling a lot, believe it or not, I spend more time with my family now than I
You?
did. Yeah, yeah, because I mean, the jobs that I've worked, you know, I traveled a lot too, and I worked a lot of long hours. Right? So a lot of it, I was dead tired. You know, uh, this, that, and other. Now, you know, when I'm home, I'm taking my daughter to school. I'm picking her up from school. You know what I mean? A lot of times I'm only gone for like 3 days, right? You know, it's not like this last week where I was gone like 6 days, right? 6, 7 days, right? That's not normal,
Yeah.
right? So I'm usually, I mean, I'm gone 2 to 3 times a month, right? On average, right now, that's what I'm at. I'm at least two. I'm going to travel at least 2 spots every month, sometimes 3 spots every month. But even saying that, when I'm home, right? Like I still got shit I got to do and stuff like that. But I'm up in the morning before they're awake, drinking coffee and shipping packages, right? And then when they wake up, I'm free.
Now it's
And
daddy
then,
time.
yes, and then I can take her to school and then come home, cook, take care of whatever stuff I need to do, and then boom, come bounce back and pick up. Then I'm hanging out on the couch and, you know, playing games with my daughter and doing whatever, right? So believe it or not, I have more time for my family than it seems like, right? Than I would if I had a full time job.
That makes a lot of sense. So you're saying that even though you're out there in Memphis in May, getting all the respect from the legends and stuff, you still come home to a honey-do list too, don't you?
Oh, for sure, man. I mean, it never ends, right? She sets me up with most of the catering. I don't advertise catering or anything like that either. She sets me up. She'll be like, "Oh, such and such has got this thing going on. Could you cook and do this?"
Oh, that's cool.
I'm like, "Yeah, I guess I can." You know what I mean? Uh, but yeah, I mean, I got the normal stuff to do. But the thing is it's I can do it on my time, right?
Yeah.
Now, right? It's not. I don't have to. I mean, there's days where when you got a job, man, you gotta do what you gotta do, and then you come home, and if you don't feel like you just can't, right? Whereas now, I make my own decisions, right? You know, and I'd rather have that. Like I said, I'm definitely not making the money that I was. I mean, I got more money going out than I got coming in. I mean, that's a lot of people probably see my success and think I'm somebody with a lot of money or whatever, but I'm not. It's a constant grind. Most of these places I go to, it's out of my pocket.
Yep.
I'm fortunate that I am getting companies starting, to pay to have me do stuff, which is cool. Uh, also, it's nice. I haven't had a lot of time to use it. I plan on using it here soon. I actually got a new cooker coming in here soon, probably in about a week and a half. I got a Santa Maria
Oh, nice.
coming in.
Who did that for you?
What's that?
Who did your Santa Maria's? Do you get something from AJ or?
No, it's Meadow Creek. It's a company, Amish country company I work
Okay,
with out in Pennsylvania.
there you go.
I went out to their store. I've been working with them for like a year and a half now. I met them to a conference.
I was gonna say you never did meet them through social media.
No, I did not. Definitely didn't meet them through social media. So,
That's an Amish joke, everybody. That's an Amish joke.
right, for sure. If you know, you know. But I went out, and the last 2 years, they've actually had me come out to their dealer days. They have like a dealer day
Yeah.
where they bring their dealers out, and they put on kind of like some classes and serve up food and a bunch of other stuff. And each year, the last 2 years, they've had me come out and be like a guest speaker. First year, I talked about social media to the dealers,
Yeah.
right? And then this last year, it was more about trends in barbecue and things that the stores can do to help like boost sales and promote
Oh,
the products and stuff like that. So it's
awesome.
kind of cool that people are starting to look at me as like someone in the industry to kind of talk, about things in the industry and stuff like
Well, brother, I'm telling you, they're going to the right kind of guy because I know firsthand. You have no shame in your game. You're very willing to share. Like I said at the absolute top, like you're very generous with your insight. You don't hold too many cards too close to your vest.
that. I mean,
And
this is
it says a lot.
at the end of the day, man. I can't take any of this with me,
Yeah,
right? Uh, I believe in helping people. One day, I'm going to need somebody's help, right? Uh, and so I've always kind of believed that way. Try to help others as much as I can. I find too, it helps networking, right? If you open yourself up, it makes it easier to network with
yeah,
people, right? If you close yourself down, you're losing out on so many other things, right? So it, it has huge benefits, right? So at the end of the day, I can share with people my knowledge. I get people reach out to me all the time asking for help. I started that company, Spice Advisors, and I'm gonna be honest, it hasn't really done anything, mainly because people don't want to pay for information,
yeah.
right? Uh, but still, to this day, people call me up on a regular basis, and I lead them to the path. I try to help them out. It's worth money, the information I give a lot of people, but hey, if I can help you get somewhere, maybe one day you'll return the favor for me. That's the way I look at it.
For sure. Well, in karma alone, right? I mean, there's no reason, there's no surprise that you get the opportunities that you get, that you're doing as well as you're doing. I'm not talking from a financial standpoint. I'm talking
Yeah, I
just
know
in
what you're saying.
general. You're definitely doing as well as you are because of what you're putting out there. So again, just personally from me to you, I appreciate the time that you've given me. I appreciate the insight that you've given me. You were I'll never forget that, man. And I do my best to pay it forward. I definitely try to do the same in return. And yeah, like I said, I'll never forget it, man. But on that note, I'm sure we got some more questions. We had some questions piled up.
Yeah, we got a Cabazon with a few questions. When and where are you going to get your Oh Yeah tattoo, Mike?
I'll tell you this. So after getting this tattoo, I must admit, uh, addiction kind of came in, right? It was like, oh shit, you know what I mean? I was like, I love it, right? Uh, and it took me a while, but I was like, you know what? I think the stars aligned when I got this, right? I had a lot of good stuff that had happened leading up to that party, and it just so happened that that Sunday was my birthday too. And I was like, well, you know what? It's time to get branded. You know what I mean? It's time to put it on there. Like it's with me no matter what, right? Even if in 2 years it flops, right? This was a big part of my life right here,
Yes, sir.
right? So I have thought about if I get an oh yeah, I thought about putting it over here on this side and putting oh yeah, like right here. I have thought about it.
I got a guy for you in Vegas, brother.
Right,
I
right.
do. I got a guy right in Vegas for you. Amazing, amazing artist. He did my whole chest. He's tattooed my wife. He's a
Nice.
solid guy right outside of Vegas. So
Yeah, I'll keep that in mind.
yeah, man.
I
So,
might wait. It might be one of those things. It might be like a yearly
Yeah,
thing,
you got to
right?
wait till the time's right. 100%. Someone like me, like I'll tell you, after all the years of being tattooed, they really do become like bookmarks in your story of your life. You know, it's not they far extend just what the tattoo itself is, but it's
Yeah.
just like smelling something. You know, every once in a while you'll smell something and it'll take you back to your childhood. The
Yeah.
exact same thing with a tattoo. You'll take a look at a tattoo and it'll take you right back to that moment. You know,
Well,
you'll forever remember Tone's house and
I kind
your
of like
birthday.
now, like when I watch Mel, Dark Side of the Grill.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what he's doing right now. It's kind of like now he's getting a tattoo for like everything that he's doing, right? But it's a memory. It's a moment, right? You know. I don't know if I'd ever get to that point. You know what I mean? But I think there's definitely an opportunity for one or two more in my future.
There you go. There you go. What else we got, Nick?
another question was, what's your favorite tequila?
So I'm a reposado guy. Like I love reposados. Casamigos makes a great reposado. There's a new one out of Vegas. Oh, I don't know if I have it in my shelf right now. That's how good it is. Uh, I mean, it's distilled in Mexico, of course. Can't think of the name of it, man. I'm gonna have to come back to that one because I don't think I have it in my cabinet right now. That one was really good. They had a really good reposado and a blanco that was like insanely good. But I'm a reposado all day long. Give me a reposado. The old days of you know Patron being like, you know, it's so funny when you think back to the tequilas. Uh, it's something like that, but I don't think it's that. That's close.
Terramana is the rocks, right?
Oh yeah. You're
It's the
right.
rock.
Yeah.
I would suggest you guys check out Partita. Partita,
Okay.
it's not so
Well,
widely
I'm not
known.
a huge tequila guy, right? That's not one of my things I go for, right? I'll have it, you know, when the occasion rise, but usually I shy away from it, right? But if I am having tequila, I'm getting a reposado, like 9 times out of 10. I mean, of course, I'm going to do those random bar shot tequilas. No, it's not like that. It's a weird name. You're gonna make me go inside and see if I have it on my shelf. Now I'm curious about it.
Who asked that question? Was that Mendoza?
That was Cabezon,
Cabazon. You're ruining the view now, Cabazon.
right? Let me see. It seems like we had something going on and we finished that bottle. I could be wrong. I might have it in here. It's not looking good.
Make sure your wife knows that we appreciate her like holding it down while you do this.
She's good. She knows how I am. Nope, I don't have it. I'll figure it out. I'll do a story about it.
There you go. There you go.
All right, so to kind of branch off from Nights of Tequila, what's your favorite Taco Bell order?
Ooh, good question.
Ooh,
One of my
you know
favorites
what?
we've ever gotten, I think.
Yeah, that might be my favorite question too.
So I think I'm a chalupa guy.
Okay.
You know what's crazy? You know what I have to get no matter what I order?
What's that?
No matter what I order, I have to get the basic ass nacho cheese.
Really?
Like the chips and nacho cheese.
So does my
It's good.
wife, dude. I swear to God.
Every time, bro. Like
Yeah,
it don't matter what the hell I order. And they always ask me when I order nachos, they're like, the nachos, no, I want the fucking chips and cheese. That's all I want. Like, it's just, I have to have it, and I have to eat that first. Like, I eat the chips and nacho cheese first, and then I break into whatever
there
else.
you go. That's
Nostalgic for sure.
yeah, for sure, for sure. What about you, Nick? Do you have a go-to Taco Bell order? That's too good of a question to not hit all of us with.
Yeah, I don't know if I have a necessarily go to. I really like the nachos, but just for some reason, I'm a sucker for the soft tacos.
Yeah,
Just I like the soft tacos.
Yeah,
I'm like a 5-year-old. I've liked them since I was a kid, but the soft tacos from there are just really good.
I liked
I
them
don't know
when
what
they
it
were
is.
39 cents. There's probably not too many people in the live that remember when they were 39 cents.
for sure.
Indeed, indeed. What about you?
Oh man, it's tough with me because Taco Bell is one of those places that they pull shit off the menu, man, and they always tend to pull off my favorite things. So my favorite thing that I used to get was the chili cheese burrito. I don't think they've had that in
Yeah.
decades at this point now.
So I like my all-time favorite was the nacho cheese steak chalupas.
Oh
That
yes,
was like my all-time favorite, right? And so like a lot of times I would end up making my own nacho cheese steak chalupas when they took them off, you know.
for sure. It's weird that they do that, man. They take off like the best things. Double decker tacos also. So those are the two.
Influential person in Mike's barbecue food.
Oh, that's a good question.
That is a fucking question. Then I would probably go back and just go back to Malcolm
Yeah,
again.
yeah,
And I just say that is because I pay homage to what he did, right? There's a lot of people in the industry that paved the way and done some stuff. Cosmo has done, a lot in the industry, and I've talked with, and I've. So it's what's fun. I think that's what's funny is I've talked the least to Malcolm than probably anybody in the industry, right? And but I still have probably more of the respect for him just for how he did it. He he got laid off from his job, right? And his wife was the one that actually kind of pushed him to just do it, like go do it, right? Do what he loved, and he did it, right? They all have their stories, you know, but a lot of them I didn't meet until later, right? Because obviously through this time frame, like I've gotten to hang out with a lot of the greats in the industry, but it was later on in this journey when I got to meet and learn about them, right? Like I didn't know about them before,
mhm,
right? Malcolm was one of those guys I always knew, you know, and I thought he always, I think, I do what I felt that he does, right? Meaning he always tried to keep it simple,
mhm.
right? Not try to overcomplicate things, right, for people. And like I try to do that too with a lot of my videos and recipes and stuff like that. Is I try to keep it simple, right? I try to introduce new flavors, but still at the same time same time frame try to keep it simple, right? And I felt that's what Malcolm used to do, still does to this day. He plays it up for social media now, which I like seeing him. Getting into the social media, getting into the TikTok, and doing the stuff that he's done. Yeah, I'd say Malcolm is definitely probably one of the more inspirational people. It's not why I doing what I'm doing today. He inspired me with a lot of cooking and everything else.
Did you get that big push from your wife too?
Mm,
Or
I've done a lot of stuff. So background on me is I've had a lot of businesses,
okay, there you
right?
go.
I'm the type of person I threw a lot of darts at a board, right? I think I've always had like an entrepreneurial like uh,
Mindset.
yeah, yeah mindset, right? And I always felt that business is what I do, right? Like I feel like I'm a good salesperson. I feel like you know I'm a persuasive person in general, and that's always been my thing. Which is funny because this was the first business that found me and I didn't find it, right? Like it fell into my lap, right? Whereas the other businesses, it was more about money, right? Like,
Yeah.
like it was like me looking for the next get rich scheme, right? It wasn't like I did it because I loved it, right? And I think that's why I have been somewhat successful with this, is because I truly love this, right? I love cooking. I love cooking for people. I love seeing people's reaction when they taste my food. It's something that I enjoyed when I was in the military, right? Like, that's why I was always the guy on the grill, right? Because I liked we go out there, bust ass, and come back, and then everybody's trying to wind down and chill, and I'm like, oh, let me jump on the grill, right, and cook something up, and then to be able to watch people's reaction, to sit back and chill, like the first opportunity, relax and be like, taste the food and be like, damn, that's good. You know what I mean? And that, like, to me, that was like my reward, right? And still to this day, it's my reward, right? That's why I think I love these cooking demos so much now. Like I'm loving these cooking demos, and it's not that because I'm some arrogant guy that likes to see a reaction. It's just, it's like
It's rewarding.
it is. It's rewarding. It's like, damn, I did something, right? Like I came up with something that I never imagined anybody else would enjoy but me.
Yeah.
Like, to be honest, right? Like, the fact that people are using my products, the fact that people are posting on social media, the fact that, I can go somewhere and cook something as basic as chicken wings and blow people's minds. That's like, give me a shot of that every fucking day. Like,
Yeah,
straight up, man. That's the high I want to be on every fucking day. Like, straight up.
for sure.
And so that's, and I think, like, I think that's why the cooking demos are working well for me too, is because I'm like enjoying it. Like, loving it. Like, okay, and I try to keep it simple. I watch people that do some of these demos in some of these places. They try to overcomplicate it. They try to like wow people with what they're doing. I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to keep it as simple as I can and be like, you can do this,
Yes.
right? You can do this, right? And then get their reaction and be like, when they come up to me like, oh, you just changed my chicken wing game, or you just changed my pork tenderloin game, or whatever. You know what I mean? I like that more than anything. That, to me, is like what it's about.
What's unique is it's probably the most common answer here on this show is why people cook or why they got into cooking, what they
Yeah,
enjoy the most about cooking is, it's never really about the process. It's never really about, but I just really like to feed my family. It's people love to see other people's reactions, what they produce. It's
straight
so
up.
there's nothing arrogant about it. It's very relatable.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
the
it is.
same way.
Tomorrow, I mean, I'm doing this catering event. I know the people that are going to be, like, a lot of these people that are going to be at this event. I haven't haven't seen them in like 10 years.
Oh, nice.
Like, so some of these people are like old people I used to work with, right? And because Dave, the guy that's retired, he came over to my house today. His wife had a special request last minute of some stuff she wanted me to cook. So I have this like Filipino style pork belly that I do. And so he brought the pork belly over for me to marinate. And so he brought it over and I chopped it all up and marinated it and sent it back with it. But he started telling me like the list of people that were going to be there. TFTI, happy Friday, bro. Wish
Yes,
I was
sir.
down in Texas with you, brother.
Salute, Tone.
But he started telling me the names. He was listing off names of these people. And it's got me amped, right? Because it's like, hey, I've never truly cooked for any of these people, but and I have everything as a timeline, right? I'm cooking briskets, I'm cooking ribs, I'm cooking chicken, I'm cooking pork, right? So everything's a timeline for me, right? It's like, all right, we got to put the briskets on at this time frame, we got to put the ribs on at this time frame. My goal is like, what's the time? What do we got to do? We got to serve at 2:30. Okay, cool. Let's make it so everything's fresh at 2:30, right? And it's stressful,
Yeah.
right? Doing it, right? Because you're just like, oh, I'm trying to time all this shit, and I'm, doing everything. But it's like at the end of the day, when it's done, and then I get to see those reactions, especially from these guys, because these are going to be there's probably like 8 or 10 guys that are going to be there that I haven't seen in probably 10 years, right? And then now this is going to be the first time they're going to get to taste what I'm cooking.
That's awesome.
Like you at a park.
That's what it looks like for sure.
We had a couple more questions.
Yeah, let's get to those.
Sunny asked, during this process, did you ever feel like giving up? And I want to add, if you did, what did you do to overcome that?
Ooh, giving up.
There was some frustrating moments, and I still have some frustrating moments. Right, there's stuff that I don't share. I don't.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's a nonstop going process. There's moments where I ask myself, like, do we keep doing it? And those were, I would say early on, there was a stretch where I was trying to figure out what I was doing and if this was going to make sense. And then when I quit my job and went full time, right, there was some scary moments, right? Because once again, I mean, I'm not going to go into my jobs, but I was making well over 6 figures, you know, doing what I do, and I was living a comfortable life, right? And there's been times where I got told one thing, what my translation of what that one thing was, I might have translated as we about to get a big deal, right? Little did I know that big deal takes like a year or so to transpire, right? Uh, so there's been a lot of situations where I'm having to move money around, and I'm having people, companies I work for hit me up like, yo, Mike, we could use you. You know, come back to work. I'm like, I ain't gonna lie. There's been times I thought about it, right? But I was like, no, we got this. We're gonna do this. We're gonna make it through it. We're gonna figure it out. You know, it's definitely not been easy, and we still got tough roads ahead, right? I've got tough decisions to make. I've got decisions that I've got to make in the next couple months that could be like really life altering decisions, right? That's why I always tell people when people talk about getting in this industry, I always tell them, I'm like, or ask them, why are you doing it, right? Doing it because it's your passion, or are you doing it because you want to see your name on the bottle,
Yeah.
right? You got to ask yourself those questions, right? Because if it's not what you truly believe in, or what you truly love to do, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. There's going to be, I don't have, I mean, if I had $250,000 right now, I'd probably take this to the moon. Let's just be real, right? I don't have it, right? I wish I did. There's times where I wish I had investors, right? And then there's times I'm glad I don't have investors, right? You know, it's there's a lot of tough decisions, and there's no book on it. There's no book on it at all, right? And a lot of it I've had to figure out on my own. I have been fortunate enough because I have immersed myself in the industry that I've been able to have those conversations with some people that have been in the same steps that I've been in, right? Maybe different paths, of course, but they've been in the same steps. But yeah, there's been a couple times, but they were quick. They weren't like I never thought about giving up. Uh, there was times where I asked myself, why did I do this,
What
right?
did
You know,
I get myself
to put
into? Yeah,
myself into and stuff like that, right? But waking up and being able to do what I do, and as long as I can still pay the bills, pay for the house, you know, pay for the car, and do that stuff, uh, I'm good. I'll continue to live this way.
absolutely. Yeah, no, I'll never quit. Just pivot. You know what
Yeah,
I
and
mean?
I've done a lot of pivots,
Yeah,
and I've got pivots. I've got pivots that are like in the motion right now,
yeah,
right? You know, it's just you have to constantly be able to pivot, right? If you're not, you know, if you're stubborn, uh, it's going to be bad, right? You've got to be able to swallow your pride. You've got to be able to pivot when the time comes, because if you don't, you'll get left behind, right? Because it's a quick world, right? I mean, out there,
you ain't lying. You ain't lying,
everything
man.
is good. That's facts.
Absolutely. Well, Mike, man, it's been an
We got
absolute honor having
one
you
more
on, man.
question, one
Go
more
ahead.
question before we
Yeah,
wrap
we're
up.
not done.
2S Welding, uh, favorite comfort food to cook. I know you mentioned ribs, but you have a comfort food that you like cooking.
Yeah, I got a country fried steak
Ooh,
with mashed potatoes,
oof.
green beans, cornbread. It's like I don't cook it as much, but every time I go back home or my mom comes out here, it's going down. You know what I mean? It's I'm a country fried steak, mashed potato gravy, corn, green beans, cornbread, or biscuits. Either homemade biscuits or cornbread, either way.
There you go.
I
It
mean,
reminds me. I swear
it's
I
comfort.
saw a Theo Vaughn clip or something, and he said, "Hey, what's the difference between chicken fried steak and country fried steak? The chicken fried steak won't fuck its cousin."
Right. That's hilarious. Theo Vaughn is like a trip, bro.
He's so
He's
funny.
a trip. But it's my roots. I talk about it all the time. I grew up on salt, pepper, butter, and bacon grease. Right?
Yeah,
Uh, anything cooked with salt, pepper, butter, and bacon grease is country. It's comfort food and country for me.
there you go, man. Well, listen, it's been an honor having you on. An absolute privilege. Seriously, thank you so
I
much, man.
appreciate it, man. I appreciate the opportunity.
Yep, yep. Can
Fun
you
hanging out with y'all.
let these guys know? I know everyone already knows, but in case they don't,
Bye.